Choose any ATM of your convenience and stand a chance to win gold sovereigns.
Lanka Pay.
Budget 2025 includes proposals for 11 new laws and legal reforms to implement the new government's policies, which are part of Sri Lanka's commitments in return for the $3 billion bailout package from the International Monetary Fund. The first is a new act on the exchange of information between state institutions. The proposed act aims to enhance the efficiency of public services and ensure the proper collection of state revenues, especially to facilitate the seamless exchange of information among relevant state institutions, such as the Inland Revenue and Customs departments. The second proposal is for an Investment Protection Act, which is an overarching legislation to safeguard the rights of investors and provide a conducive environment for foreign investment. Then comes the State Business Enterprises Management Act, which aims to ensure the effective management of state-owned enterprises, thereby rendering them free from political influence and enabling them to operate as commercially driven institutions that provide high-quality goods and services to the public. This law is further expected to enable SOEs to be managed by industry experts, ensuring the boards of directors are appointed independently. Next is the new Public-Private Partnership Investment Management Act, which intends to encourage foreign and domestic private investments in collaboration with the public sector. This is expected to be achieved by enhancing investor confidence through strengthening security for investments and creating a more reliable and expansive investment environment while mitigating any fiscal risks that arise from such partnerships. In the meantime, the proposed Statistics Act aims to replace the long-standing legislation governing population statistics and the census in Sri Lanka, incorporating updated methodologies and concepts. This is expected to create a new environment for conducting an efficient population census through new technological methods, enhance the utilization of census data collected in governance, improve data sharing with private institutions, and establish a comprehensive data and information repository. The proposed Valuation Act, meanwhile, is expected to introduce new legislation for the management of the Government Valuation Department. Improving the efficiency of the department is expected to enable timely valuation of state assets, thereby increasing revenue for local government institutions while also making valuation services more accessible to the public. In the meantime, the new Public Asset Management Act intends to introduce new legislation for non-financial asset management to ensure the effective utilization, proper maintenance, and optimal value extraction for those properties. Accordingly, this new legislation envisages enactment of provisions to provide the required legal basis for the non-financial assets management of public institutions, while ensuring institutional compliance for recording and reporting the information of these assets, and thus enabling protection and proper management of public properties. Similarly, the proposed public procurement law intends to ensure the efficient use of public funds by promoting optimal performance, value for money, competitiveness, and transparency, while also preventing corruption and strengthening accountability. Meanwhile, government plans to introduce a new law named Microfinance and Credit Regulatory Authority Act to address the shortcomings of the existing Microfinance Act No. 6 of 2006. Government claims that the current Microfinance Act does not provide comprehensive regulation and supervision of the microfinance industry and lacks adequate focus on consumer protection and the regulation of market conduct by microfinance institutions. Similarly, government has also proposed strengthening Sri Lanka's anti-money laundering and countering the financing of terrorism framework in line with international standards. The Convention on the Suspension of Terrorist Financing Act No. 25 of 2005, the Prevention of Money Laundering Act No. 5 of 2006, and the Financial Reporting Act No. 6 of 2006 are the primary legislations that support and strengthen Sri Lanka's AML-CFT framework, and amendments to these legislations have been identified as essential to further enhance the country's AML-CFT regime. Finally, government plans to amend the Paddy Marketing Act No. 14 of 1971 to address contemporary challenges in the paddy and rice market. The proposed amendment is expected to establish a regulatory mechanism for paddy and rice stockpiling, while strengthening existing licensing provisions and other related regulations. Following the President's budget speech, the traditional tea reception was held at the Parliament cafeteria with the participation of both government and opposition ministers, foreign diplomats, ministry secretaries, and other invitees. The second reading debate of the budget will begin tomorrow and will continue for 7 days until the 25th of February. Subsequently, the vote on second reading will be held at 6 p.m. on the 25th. Afterwards, the third reading of the budget or the committee stage debate will begin on the 27th of February and will continue for 19 days until the 21st of March. Finally, the vote on the third reading of the appropriation bill will be held at 6 p.m. on March 21st.